We've now seen rehearsal clips of every single act that's performing at Eurovision 2026, and it's time for me to tell you what my top 5 are. Welcome to ESC Canuck. My name is Scott. I am an Australasian Eurovision superfan, and I run this channel. Thank you for being here. On today's video, we are looking at my top 5 rehearsal clips from Eurovision 2026. It's an incredibly exciting time, and just like I picked my top 10 rehearsal images that ended up being a list of the top 21, you'll be proud to know that today my top 5 rehearsal clips is a top 6. This is purely based on my personal reaction to the rehearsal clips. The things I found the most exciting, the most intriguing, just the best clips as I rank them personally. Your personal opinion is almost certainly different from my top 6. That's a-okay. If I don't mention your favorite country in this video, it does not mean I think it is a bad rehearsal clip, or that it has bad staging, or that it is a bad song. I'm just talking about my 6 favorites, with a few extra honorable mentions thrown in as well. It's very important up front that you know as well, 2026, I've been following songs since the national finals, the national selections. That means that there are a bunch of stagings and clips that I've already seen. When those stagings are brought to Vienna this year, they're gonna look substantially similar, and thus they weren't wowing me. I'm thinking of 3 in specific that I will mention right off the top. That's Sweden, Finland, and Denmark. The clips that we've seen indicate that they are the same stagings, just a little bit polished up, and because of that, they didn't wow me because I wasn't seeing them for the first time, and they didn't make this list. Again, not bad stagings, not bad songs, just weren't super exciting to me because I'd seen them already. These clips, they are rehearsal footage, so vocals can improve, staging elements can improve, we're seeing some people play with different outfits, and even slightly different stagings from what we saw in the rehearsal images. More on that very soon. I can't play the audio. If you want to see these clips, go on the Eurovision YouTube channel. Okay, I think I've caveated everything enough. If you don't agree with me, that's totally fine. Let me know what your top 5 rehearsal clips were. Let's start at number 6, and for me, that's Ukraine. I'm just gonna narrate it as it's playing here. These 2 sheets that drop down, in the rehearsal images we saw that there were 4 that were being blown up, but these are now draped from the ceiling. I think it's fantastic, this undulation in the background, and the way that they are all going to drop down as the song changes moods. The revamp of this song really softened some of its harder edges, and I think the imagery here flows so much better. Her connection with the camera is phenomenal. I love the black on the one eye that ties into the thing on her dress. It's super fantastic. But this is great. The way that we have these sandy earth tones, the way she is reaching up, the black that is incorporated also onto the fingers of her gloves, the way this black seems to be sort of seeping in, really beautiful, really intimate. I love the lighting on her here. As the song changes from one energy to another, our camera work changes as well. The lighting changes on her too. It's just gorgeous. Seeing her outfit in motion is also fantastic. The way that it is moving and sort of flowing around, but not in the same way that all of the freedom is in the cloths. It's just incredibly compelling stuff. I wish I could talk about this for longer, and of course, she calls out for water, the stadium turns blue. What else do you want? I'm very impressed with Ukraine's staging. I feel this rehearsal clip has really brought it back into the conversation, and really deservedly so. At number 5, it's Serbia. There's no getting over this. This staging looks unlike anything else we've seen at rehearsals. The added jitter and shake in post, like the cameras are recording this image but it's shaking around, the way we're getting so many images, the way it's shaking, it's so energetic, and then we have this moment where everything calms down. He reaches up. The band is also acting alongside him. They are like emoting as a group. It's fantastic. This is a song that doesn't really speak to my musical tastes, but there's no denying that that staging was pretty damn great. The way the entire arena is shaking as well. This track along the ceiling is fantastic. I don't think I've seen that very much in any of the other rehearsal clips, or if I have, I haven't noticed it. You can actually see the rail that the camera is on at the top here. Very, very interesting. The way we're flashing red, we're getting the strobes. The song feels hardcore. The images look hardcore. Like, this just matches up so well. I love that the sword gets its moment and the stage, like the way everything is arranged around it. is using the space so well. Just the raw power and emotion in his voice, it's phenomenal. It really grabbed my attention. With the rehearsal clips, I was seeing a lot of really good stage direction and really good costumes and costume choice and choreography, but something I found a little lacking in some of the other rehearsal clips that we saw is the actual sort of direction and camera and shot selection that we're going through, and I think Serbia really nails it. The quick cutting, the shaking, we're in, we're out, we're wide, we're moving around, we're catching everything as, you know, the song is reaching its emotional climax. And showing the climax is really interesting, because when you start to see this song, you know it's leading up to that, and that's pretty impressive. Coming in at number 4, I have Armenia. This is so clever. The stage, despite being narrower and smaller, is still pretty large for only 6 people. This image, this performance, I paused it. I have to talk about it. Because the music video had so many people, it was getting the sense you're in a cramped, overcrowded office, and it's that drudgery, it's that awfulness. Putting them all in an elevator squeezes them in so much that this energetic, claustrophobic choreography brings that same energy we got at the scale of like an entire, you know, floor of an office down into what they could actually show on stage. This is early in the song, because they're gonna move out of this. We're going to experience, you know, the parts of the performance that we saw in the rehearsal images, but it's so smart. Also, if you look at the rehearsal images, he was wearing a very different type of top. Here, this is like more like the post-it note jacket we saw in the music video. It's so interesting. Apparently the notes that were on here were written by other competitors at this year's Eurovision, which is very sweet. I don't know how they've adhered them to the shirt. Maybe it's not actually post-it notes, but they look like post-it notes. I'm sold. I get what's going on here. The way that there's 2 doors on the elevator, so they move and then can do forward and backward and have camera energy in there as well. The way everyone is moving together. Like I said, these backing dancers really need to keep up with Simon, and they have. I love the styling on them as well, the way that the yellow is carried into the ties and this hair here. It's really fantastic. It's got a lot of energy, it's got a lot of excitement, and boxing it in at the start, so clever. Such a brilliant decision, because then we can see it explode out without losing that energy that would happen if they were on a huge stage from the very, very start. Also, this square, boxy choreography, I love. Very much rat in a cage, very trapped. Gorgeous, with the lights from the ceiling coming past the lights that are hanging down as well. There's so much detail in this performance, even though it is very visually simple. It's not over-cluttered. You're going to remember this performance as the elevator, the canary yellow, and his slicked back hair. Gorgeous. My third favorite rehearsal clip that we saw this week is Croatia. This is fantastic. When I was talking about shot selection, this is what I mean. The way we were looking past the flames, the way that you could see the heat rise, the way that we see all of them together in these wide shots, and yet we're close in the moments with them, the way that their costumes are moving. There's such dynamic movement here, even with the lights moving up, the lights parting, and this, oh, I'm gonna stop it again because it's brilliant. First of all those dips into, those fades into black, as we see each of them in turn, phenomenal. And then we've got this almost like, feels like we're in hyperspace or something. We're moving at light speed and the stars are becoming streaks beside us. And those streaks, those stars, these lines of light, they're coming all the way up this catwalk where that character in white is running. It's really, really phenomenal. The glowing runes play so well with the light. The blues and the oranges are so strong, and yet the red is a color that the characters own completely. It's exciting. Even, I also love, let me see if I can pause it here. The way that they have these lights pointed directly out at the audience, and then they also have these light bars that give like a texture and a color to the back wall. So you get sort of the sense of something arresting, something vertical that is stopping you, and yet these moments of like puncturing through. That's a fantastic stage design element. When you look at this, there's so many things that draw the eye, the circle, the ramp that's going up, the catwalk, the stage little wings at the side. But that decision of what to put behind it, the last time we were here in 2014, it was the two big walls. And that was just such a a hard background, and this makes it look like this stadium goes on forever, and using that screen as something that does like disappear into infinity, but moving towards you, something is coming, something is bearing down on us. The intensity of the song, the beautiful flame pyro that's going off, it's gorgeous. It's really exquisite. And again, we're seeing the climactic moment of this performance, so we know we're going to lead up to all of this energy, but there's still stuff to come after it. There's still a big finish here, and this is a really excellent rehearsal clip for getting us excited, getting us energized, and also like leaving some tantalizing questions for us to consider. I think Croatia's done a bang-up job here, and very rightfully my third favorite. My second favorite clip we saw at rehearsals this week is Czechia. This is really great from me. I mentioned in the last video I did, which was about the rehearsal photographs, that because of the stage design, there's not a lot of ways that people can disappear into their own worlds. Like, it's just too narrow, you're seeing off the edge of it, but the mirror play here is so fantastic. I cannot tell you which direction we're looking at. I don't know where these mirrored props are on stage, I don't know what's happening, and that's super exciting for me. That puts Czechia in a league of almost its own when it comes to creating a world. I'm surprised that there hasn't been a staging with mirrors that is this grand, that is this all-consuming. The way that there's so many mirrors, the way that every mirror gives us almost like a separate angle of him, a separate shot, his physicality here as he is moving up and down the mirror. And when you get to a shot like this, each and every framing of him, each Daniel we see, is a different and unique angle, looking in a different way. The light feels different on all of them. They can be read as different emotions. It's phenomenal. But the thing I think that excites me the most about this particular performance, like the thing I am most excited about, also I love this moment here where he sort of force pushes and the mirror moves away and all the reflections move, but he's still got one to his back. He's making eye contact with the camera here, but you know, in this performance, he can look at any number of cameras and different Daniels will be making eye contact with us. You know how mirrors work. I'm not here trying to change that, but this is my favorite moment here, where he disappears into the darkness and we fade out. We don't know where we're going, where we're headed after this. And that's the point of the song. It fits so beautifully. Got me excited to see what the rest of the performance is and exactly how these mirrors are going to catch and use whatever imagery appears during that big, big moment at the end. It's brilliant. Oh, getting goosebumps thinking about it. My number one, the most exciting rehearsal clip, the thing that made me go, oh wow, is Romania. This is stunning in so many different ways. First of all, the way that she is moving. I mentioned in my last video when we looked at the still images that I thought she was a really great actor, even if she doesn't know it. From this rehearsal clip, everyone should be telling her. Her eye contact, where she is looking, this particular moment, I'm stopping it on the first run through. The way she is folding back, the way her eyes are looking but not entirely focused on the camera, the way she is leaning back and giving over to this energy that is flowing through her. It's so phenomenal. The makeup again on her eyes is like some kind of magic. Get whoever did this makeup on Romania an award. They really deserve it. It's so expressive. And then this shot, I think, is for me what pushes Romania over the edge. Usually backup dancers and bands are just there to fill out the space on the screen, and this year we're getting so many different acts that are performing alongside their lead singers, and that's so important. This here, this keyboardist leaning over, looking concerned, worried about what's going to happen to Alexandra in this moment, it's brilliant storytelling. For this kind of aggressive, a little bit violent, a little bit off-putting lyrics for some people, I don't find it that, over the top, but this show of concern, this like, are you all right? What is happening? Perfect storytelling. Like, it just enhances the mood and the theme of the song, seeing people concerned for her. She tangled up with the guitarists and fighting with them. Oh. And then we get one of my favorite shots, this, where Alexandra is like She is stalking towards the camera. She is a gal on a mission. She is now headed directly at the people who've got their hooks into her with this energy. The flavors of emotion I am getting are wonderful. The push and pull looks as good as you're gonna get it on that stage. It would be wonderful if these lines were more sculptural and up in the air, but when they have to move, they have to push and pull. She has to actually yank on them and pull them forward. They yank back. Obviously, they're not doing it at full force, but that push and pull is the song. Nothing's breaking, nothing's snapping. This is an engineering feat as much as it is like a feat of performance as well. Okay. We have to talk about, first of all, these designs of the backing singers, the cult-like hoods that are nonetheless rhinestoned so beautifully here, the chromatic aberration we are getting here, this like camera effect that pushes the colors out, blue, green, and red of this color space that makes it look like you're getting pushed as a viewer, like it's affecting you, like your eyesight's starting to go blurry. Phenomenal. The fact that their eyes are covered, is this cult-like presence calling out to save Alexandra, or are they the ones that are trying to control her with that white energy that's hooked into her? But even before we get to this image, these sharp cuts that we see here, how frenetic and how moving around they all are. Someone who is a music video director or a television director has really gotten in here and made the fast cutting really effective, because we still understand who everyone is in this sense. We still understand the motion that is going on. Doesn't need to be specific. Like, we're getting lost and caught up in this story so much. Again, we're getting these chromatic aberrations by the side of the frame, the blurriness there pulling us in. This figure, this cult leader, it looks like, in white that we saw, someone that Alexandra is going to have to maybe defeat, maybe unite with. We're getting, everyone in the band gets their moment. The way that she is doing this, Alexandra is not just doing the choreography because it's the choreography. She has like internalized it all and is acting so well, and it fits the song like a glove. This, oh, interesting, something I didn't catch before. Alexandra is doing these hand motions. This figure in white is doing hand motions as well. They are locked in a battle through proxy by these men. I realize I'm just gushing, but I really do think that Romania, for me, I think was always going to be a top 10 song. I think they could do even better than that. Maybe they'll crack the top 5. If Romania doesn't get the points to end up where you think it should, or I think it should, then I'm really confident in telling everyone involved with this performance that they've left it all on the field. I see no missed opportunities here. I see a lot of information. The shot selection's doing everything it can. The staging's doing everything it can. The lighting, the performers. Romania, definitely my number one, and by quite a margin, I would say. All right, those were my top 6. I could gush about them forever, and I also could gush about a lot more songs. So we're gonna do that super quick. Here's some honorable mentions that didn't quite make the top of my list. First up, Moldova. The music was a little jarring for some people because they have now a harmony in the backing track, which, I don't know, we'll see how it feels in the full performance, but I think I was a little bit more of a fan of the single, everyone in unison on that same note. It was like strength and unity. Their LEDs in the background, inspired. Like, for it to open the semifinal and to be something that more of the family might see, you know, the kids before their bedtime, it's just perfect. The design of the graphics, how playful it is, while also bringing a lot of energy. There's a danger with Moldova that this could have read more as like a punk song, as more of something aggressive and in your face, and I think softening it around the edge with the bright colors, with the goofy animation, allows the performers to still have all of their fantastic energy and get right up in the camera and have a great time, and for it to appeal to a little bit of everyone. Moldova, incredible staging. Can't wait to see the whole show. Another honorable mention to Portugal. I talked a lot about shot selection in Romania and how intelligent I thought it was. I think the exact same thing about Portugal. They have only 2 shots in their rehearsal clip. A shot of the violinist at the start, and then a shot of the 5 of them singing that moves, but still with a lot of detail for the eye to look at, so you don't get bored when you're looking at one shot for 20 seconds. In a semi-final that is as frenetic, with so much happening and so much going on, this sticks out brilliantly. Even the color palette, so far just the whites and these earth tones, visually it's gonna look like nothing else. It's just simplicity and emotion, and I think this is gonna get a lot of votes purely because it feels like an entire world of music that lots of people love. This is the only thing they have in this year's competition, so it is a very strong chance to qualify. I want to give a shout out as well to Bulgaria. I really like the pink and purple they've got going on in their staging. The way that Dara is styled and her dances are styled, it's so intriguing. It feels like nothing else. Her dancing and the choreography is incredible. When you have a dance moment that is hitting as hard as the one in this rehearsal clip, every other dancing song at Eurovision this year is going to feel a little insecure, and I understand why. Fantastic choreography, great use of the purple lights as well. It feels really strong. It doesn't feel like anyone else is sitting in this purple as much as Bulgaria is. A great high energy opener. She's bringing it. Everyone else needs to be a little worried. And those were my honorable mentions. Again, I could go through every single rehearsal clip and talk for hours, but I just wanted to hit my top 6 here. What were your top 6? Who do you think I'm unfair at for not mentioning here? I promise you that I have good things to say about absolutely everyone this year. I can't wait to see who's still got secrets up their sleeve. I think Australia's a big one. I also think Finland, Sweden, and Denmark might have polished certain elements of their performances and brought them to an even greater height for the Eurovision main stage. All of our leaders seem to be holding their cards quite close to their chest. I did say I would adjust who I thought was qualifying at this point, but I have to say, it's real difficult. I haven't always followed the semifinals at Eurovision, and when I've gone back and watched them all recently, what I found was that there were a few songs where I was like, oh yeah, this just isn't up to snuff. I can't see this being in the final show. And there are exceptionally few of those entries this year. Everyone seems to have really elevated their stagings, and these rehearsals, again, things are only going to look better than the rehearsal for the final night. We're in for such a treat. All of these artists and all of their teams who do the staging, the lighting, the costumes, all of it, who help them sing. Eurovision is such a team effort, such a team sport. I truly believe that every single person involved this year should feel incredibly proud of themselves. And these semifinals are going to be absolutely heartbreaking. Thanks so much for watching this video. Give us a like. Maybe subscribe if you thought it was interesting. Tell me what you thought in the comments. Tell me whose rehearsal clip really stood out to you. I think my long list would have been almost every single clip that we saw at rehearsals this year. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.